And humans in Japan figured to cultivate mushrooms about 2,000 years ago. There was a little bit of a language barrier. Folks with Latin-based speaking languages didn't figure out about cultivating truffles or figure out about cultivating mushrooms until 200 years ago, where we see the French start working with cultivating agaricus and horse manure. That was the mushroom cultivation in the global north. So even if you could think about it from the Japanese scale, 2,000 to 12,000, or if you think about it from the global north scale, 200 to 2,000. Imagine if you were in the 200th year after humans learned how to grow plants. Like, what kind of plants would be available? What kind of foods would be available that people knew how to make with those plants? That's where we're at right now. Granted, we have computers, so we're able to spend time a little bit more. We're still at the infancy. We're still in the infancy of all this. So with all that being said, humans have only been successfully cultivating mycorrhizal fungus, mycorrhizal fruiting bodies, for 60 years. And one of the folks I interviewed in this talk, or in this documentary, his name is James Trappy, Dr. James Trappy. He has described more truffles than any other human, has scientifically described more truffles. And when I was talking with him, he went through university in the 50s, and he said, for my graduate thesis, I covered the phenomenon of mycorrhiza. Yo, if you're a real mycologist, that's wild. The phenomenon of mycorrhiza, 1950. That's like not that long ago, 70 years ago. And mycorrhiza was new. It was the first time that the scientific community understood that mushrooms have this connection with fungus. So we're out here, and a couple people asked me, like, what's the significance of having the kids around and involved in the festival? And it's like, you know, we just learned what mycorrhiza is, and these kids have grown up, some of them kids, grown up their whole life coming to this festival, and they're, oh yeah, mycorrhiza. Oh yeah, amanitas. Oh yeah. They're going to be able to interact with this information on a whole different level than those of us that have just been introduced to it. And one of the things that I think about truffles, I think that truffles are going to be the next hottest trend in nootropics. I think that truffles are a grand equalizer. I think that they have incredible value. I think that they're going to be recognized as some of the most medicinal mushrooms. There's a truffle counterpart for every above ground mushroom. And anywhere that there are trees, there are truffles. So it's going to be incredible to watch culture emerge when people start to realize that there's so much value under their feet. So without further ado, you guys are going to catch this first revision. I had two other editions that I've shown where I've just kept sharpening the sword because I'm not particularly a filmmaker. I've been making YouTube my whole life. But this is really my first shot at this. I knew I was going to be exposed into all these worlds and meet all these truffle experts, and I wanted to be able to document it in a way that was really copaesthetic. So this is my dive really into production direction of documentary film, and most of this was filmed by me, and the rest was filmed by Anthony Basil Rodriguez. So much love. Thank you all for being here. And after the documentary trailer, please stick around for closing remarks.
It's going to get real packed in here soon. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, everybody? I'm William Padilla Brown. I'm a self-taught mycologist. If y'all don't know what that is, it's somebody that studies mushrooms and fungi. I kind of had an unconventional start. I dropped out of high school because it was interfering with my education, and I just put a big focus on learning the things that I thought would be fruitful for my future. I'm sitting here in my laboratory in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. In 2015, I founded MycoSymbiotics, an ecological research and education business. Through MycoSymbiotics, over the past 10 years, I've operated permaculture farms growing mushrooms, algae, various food crops, and raising animals. My big claim to fame was cordyceps. I was the first person in the US to write any literature on how to cultivate cordyceps mushrooms.
I was actually the first person in any English-speaking country to do this, and it really put me in a great position as mushrooms started to trend. I spent most of my life here in central Pennsylvania. Off and on, traveling throughout the world, I ended up here more times than not. Growing up here in central Pennsylvania, truffles is like one of the last things that's on our radar. Even getting into mushrooms was weird for a lot of the people around me, so like getting into truffles was just like, what are you even doing? I first got interested in truffles through a YouTube video, probably in like 2014. It was one that Munchies put out. It was called A Day with the Dealer, and it starts out, it's like, yo, I got that black, I got that white. And I'm just like, yo, what is this? What's going on here? And it's a video with this guy Ian, right? And he's like young. I think he was like 20 in the video, and he talks about how he started a truffle business when he was 15 years old and moved to New York City and is operating just an incredible exotic food distribution business. You know, being a young person, seeing somebody else just going after it like that was super inspirational. And that's kind of what started my interest in truffles. As I started my business, MycoSymbiotics, in 2015, I spent a lot of time foraging mushrooms. And in the winter times when there weren't really many mushrooms to forage, I found that in eastern Pennsylvania I could find a decent supply for truffles. So I took a try at it and, you know, was able to start making some really good connections.
The man I just zoomed in on is
in 2017,
this
I
man's
moved
father.
down to Asheville, North Carolina, and set up the first commercial cordyceps facility in the U.S. When I was down in Asheville, I would hear these rumors about people foraging truffles in the mountains, and I'm just like, what? There's North American truffles? So I got to digging and found out that there's all sorts of truffles in North America. As I've studied truffles over the years, I've come to realize we don't know anything. Most of the information we have about truffles comes from Europe. There's native truffles all across North America, and we know more about the European varieties. Most people think that truffles are still hunted in the wild by pigs, but these days, most truffles are cultivated and found by dogs.
Truffles, as you know, probably at this point, the tuber that is the fruiting body of the mycorrhizal system. And even when we harvest it, and it's really important, the reason we use dog harvesters is because if you rake up a truffle patch to harvest, say you find a great patch, you get your rake, you think you're being really kind and gentle, everything you rake up, at least 50% of that is likely to be immature. And an immature truffle will never ripen for culinary purposes, at least not significantly. So it's really important to
over there.
when they're mature and they have the chance to ripen. If you dog harvest, the dogs have pretty much specifically been trained to identify a truffle that has reached maturity and has started to release certain gas characteristics that are calling to nature to say, come eat me and reproduce me.
There's so much misinformation in the truffle space, I really just had to get to the bottom of it. So I wanted to go meet with some experts and see what they had to say about it. My adventure took me to New York City, where I met with Ian, founder of Regalis, one of the more prominent exotic food distribution companies in the US, and my personal inspiration into the truffle space. From New York City, I hopped on a plane to Spain, where I took a 2-week class with Luz Cocina at MycoLab in Busol, Spain. Most people in the US don't know that truffles are cultivated. When I talk to most people in the US, they still think that people are looking around for truffles with pigs. So could you tell me a little bit about where we're at with cultivation? We're here as we're here in Spain, and Spain being the largest producer in the world. Where are we at as far as cultivation goes?
Okay, the first successful plantations, and when I say successful, I mean high yield plantations, at the moment will be about 40 years old. And I think we have overcome the experimental phase. We know how to make a plantation produce. We know how to make all trees produce. We are at the point of being able to make them produce more. We have to fine tune things like irrigation or amendments to the soil in order to make them more productive. But the part about how to choose the soils, how to till them, how to choose the trees, which trees to choose, and everything like that to establish a plantation that is going to look a lot like a fruit orchard. That is under control, and I think we should be very proud of it. Well, more than me, the people that did it, because I always say that in Valencia, we say that the first pest you have to take out of the field is the agricultural engineer, Okay? I think we have to be very humble. These people work a lot, they risk a lot, and the truffle farmers in Spain did an amazing job not listening to us. You know? I think that's part of the success. They risked it, they tried, they failed, and they got up again. And a lot of times in areas where they had very low income and where they were risking a lot. And I think thanks to them is why we are here, and that should be always be said. It's not the scientists, it's not the engineers, it's them. And they have done an amazing job.
I got to visit their well, which is my family for a little bit, and then flew over to Oregon for the Oregon Truffle Festival. At the Oregon Truffle Festival, I got to connect with some of the founding pioneers in the truffle space in North America. I got to try North American truffle varieties and even learn about how people are cultivating truffles here in the States. This is organic nobility. This is a story about how I found myself in places I could have never imagined. With a little passion and curiosity, you may discover something under your feet that will open some doors for you as well. So breaking through all the myths, figuring out that we can cultivate truffles, figuring out where most of these cultivated truffles come from, and figuring out that there's native gourmet truffles that we haven't even discovered yet, I had to get to the bottom of this. I had to learn more about truffles, the Earth's ultimate mushrooms.
Awesome.
We're in New York, Regales, looking at the winter truffles from Spain. These are tuber Milanos puros. So we're seeing the truffles from Spain, and your boy's about to go over there. They came from where I'm about to go. Whoa, this whole room is just loud. Got that loud pack, extra loud pack. All right, so right now these truffles are exposed, and you can see the gleba, which is in the inside there. That's where the spores are produced. On the outside, that bumpy texture there, that's called the peridium, that's the outer skin. What we've been finding is that there's actually different microorganisms, or the microbiome of the truffle. There's different organisms on the peridium and in the gleba that are consuming volatile aromatic compounds that are coming off the truffle and transforming them into smells that are just incredibly desired. What? Yo, that one is so fat, bro. It's like a truffle. You know what I'm saying?
My name is Ian Perkayas, and I'm the founder and owner of Regales Foods. So I'm originally from Houston. My parents were entrepreneurs. Their business essentially tanked during the housing mortgage crisis, and we were looking at simplifying our lives. And so we had family in Northwest Arkansas. My grandparents had built a cabin in the Ozarks in the 80s, so we would go there on vacation as kids. So we were familiar with the area. So we ended up relocating to Northwest Arkansas when I was 15, and I started spending a lot of time with my uncle, who is an avid outdoorsman and an archaeologist, and he is the one that brought me into the world of foraging. And we started foraging for morels and chanterelles and black trumpets, and that's when I became just totally obsessed with all things mushroom and wild. And I really was seeking out as many different species as I could try. And I'd always loved to cook, so foraging and cooking were kind of a natural fit. And because truffles are arguably at the top of the mushroom kingdom, I was really hoping that I could one day taste a truffle. Tartufi is the Italian word for truffles.
Italian, okay.
So I used to be like very fixated on all things Italian from the truffle perspective. But yeah, I started Tartufi Unlimited in my parents' garage. I was first introduced to truffles from having a black truffle ravioli at a restaurant in Houston, which totally transformed my whole outlook on food and cuisine and what it could be. So when I returned home to Arkansas after this amazing truffle dish that I had in Houston, I really wanted to source truffles to be able to replicate this dish again. And at that time, there weren't many vendors in the US selling truffles, and I knew if I wanted the best deal, I needed to find a vendor in Europe to go direct. So I started just surfing the web and trying to research as much as I could about where they came from, and I found a forager on the French version of eBay that had listed his wares for sale, and I pulled together several years worth of Christmas and birthday savings and bought a kilo of black truffles from this dealer on eBay. So he shipped them to me via FedEx International Post, and they arrived several days later, and I realized it was kind of a lot of truffle for one person to consume. So that's when I decided, why not try to sell a portion of them to some local restaurants in hopes of recouping my initial investment. I didn't have a driver's license, so my parents took turns driving me from restaurant to restaurant, where I tried cold calling and establishing a relationship with a few local restaurants and chefs. And then that was the beginning of, I guess it's been now 16 years in the truffle space.
I'm super thrilled to share that with you guys. Like, there's so much to the story, and I'm doing my best to piece it all together. It's really, really, truly incredible. I want to show you guys one thing before I do this closing. It is probably here. I just thought it would be really interesting for you guys to see what the truffle farms in Spain look like. So I got some drone footage. That might not be the most dramatic. Let me show you guys maybe this one. That's a little one. Let's go to the day before. So it'll be day 5. Drone footage. Okay. All right. So these are what the truffle farms in Spain look like. And they're growing truffles in the central regions of Spain, where most of the population left after the world wars. Most of the population in Spain went to the cities, and this area has become very impoverished. If you go to these areas, there'll be whole towns with like a population of 5 or 6, and it's like old towns built of stone crumbling with like a castle on top of the hill. And these soils have less than 0.2% organic matter in them. The only farmers out there are figuring out how to grow olives or truffles, and the truffles just really started. And the truffle farms are reinvigorating these regions. There is little to no economy going on, and then these giant truffle plantations have just started being successful in the past 20 or so years, and it's really putting on. Little fun fact, one of the many things that we'll be exposing through the documentary is that most of the French truffles, I can't give you an exact percentage, but most of the French Périgord truffles are purchased from Spain and then sold out of France as French Périgord truffles. Spain supplies most of the world's truffles during the winter season, the global north winter. So if you see any black truffles, melanosporum, in the summer, they're coming from Chile or Australia, where it's winter time right now. Since they figured out how to cultivate them on both hemispheres, we can get them all year. But the folks in Spain figured out cultivation at a larger scale than anyone else in Europe, and are generally supplying Europe with their truffles that they sell as their own truffles. There's a lot of illusions in the truffle industry, and we dig a little bit into the European ends of things, but I'm personally more interested in the US ends of things because that's where we're at, and there's so much potential for emergent culture. And the reason that their truffles are so valuable and ours aren't is because more people know about theirs. It's just gonna take celebrating them, finding them. I'm gonna keep telling y'all until one of you guys is gonna be telling me about the truffles y'all found in the East Coast. I'm bringing the West Coast out to try and inspire you guys, but the reason that it's happening on the West Coast is because that's where all the mycologists were. The ones that went to China and brought back the information on how to grow mushrooms, they brought it back to the Pacific Northwest. That's why all the big mycologists that we know of, that are in the generations above ours, they're all from the Pacific Northwest. That's because that's where they were learning it. You still can't even go get a mycology degree in most universities in the world right now. So it's our time. This is where y'all got your mycology degree. How many of y'all been here 4 years? All right, you graduated. Let's grow. It's time. It's time. It's emergent culture. The fact that these are so valuable, the fact that we can utilize these to remediate soil. How many of you guys are interested in permaculture? That's what I like to see. How many are interested in food forestry? Y'all giving me chills right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting chills all over down my body right now. So all of y'all are interested in food forestry. All of y'all that are interested in planting trees. I hope y'all decided to give your trees some fungal partners before you plant them, because for the rest of your life, you get to make the decision of what fungi gets to pop up on your property. You get to choose your allies. You get to create bioregionality. We can recreate that garden that was so magnificent that, the folks that came over here thought that, God created this incredible wild wilderness that was really the garden of the indigenous people here. It's time for us to discover our bioregionality and then create culture around that, which is the emergent culture of the land. It's the expression of the land. I personally believe that truffles are the ultimate distillation of the taste and the smell of the environment in which they come from. So stay tuned for Organic Nobility. I'm going to be posting more online, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. If all of you guys right now, anybody has a phone, can go on and type in Artisan Fund. It's ARTIZEN, Artisan. Yeah, I'll show you all how to do it. I just cut off the Wi-Fi, but I'll cut it back on. If you go to Artisan Fund and you look up Organic Nobility, I'm crowdfunding. It's not a crowdfund. You just have to vote. You can vote on there, and if you fill out this information, you can vote up to 40 times. For free. You don't have to do anything. You can vote for me for free, and that puts me in a position to get match funding. There's over $250,000 in match funding, and if everything works out, I'll just get thousands of dollars dropped into my Ethereum wallet, and I can spend the rest of my time working on this documentary and filming the rest of the pieces that I need to film. So it's just artisan.fund. You can look up Organic Nobility. I was in the top 5 for most of it, but then they extended it this season because this season got like 100% more interactions than the last 4 seasons. Way more people donated money, way more people are voting. So season 4 ends in 10 days. I received 2,419 votes, and now the top projects have 10,000. So if each of y'all in here can vote 40 times and then share that to a friend, I'm in number 41 out of over 200 projects, but if I can stay in the top 30%, then I qualify to get those match funds. And there's nobody else doing what we're doing, talking what we're talking. It's all like Ethereum, meta, virtual. I want to bring that to real life. I want to anchor it down in real life. There's so much potential value in that ether, in that crypto world. I want to bring it right here, right now. I want to sink it into the earth. I want to take the value while it's actually worth something and put it into the things that are infinitely valuable. No matter the economy, no matter how much money's worth, this mushroom's going to nourish my body the same way it would have, whether it was $20, whether it was $5. It don't matter. So I'm trying to sink as much value into these spaces and places as I possibly can, because that's what actually matters. That's what actually is valuable. Those of us that are closest to nature are the richest people in the world. Because all this money, it's an illusory value system. The real value is in the nature. The real value is in these connections. So us in here, I guarantee you, once we split the script, because it's all about the collective, what we value. Once we flip the script, all of us are going to be the richest people beyond any riches that has ever been expressed by any illusory value system. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Oh, that's what's up. Yo, keep me on the top hot. If you guys keep voting, I'll stay on the top hot spot. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys. And I can't believe it. It's the 10th annual MycoFest. Like, what? We just did that. Whoa, like, I started this out with, like, I can't even tell you, I went into debt so many times doing this because I believed in what it is. I believed in the future of this. I see people here that have supported me to MycoFest from the last one with all y'all keeping me alive. I swear, I see y'all's names pop up on my website. I see y'all coming out to my classes when I'm in your cities. That means the world. If we can keep building on this network, that's everything that we need. It's gonna keep growing, it's gonna keep growing. We are the leaders. I guarantee this. When we get to that age, when we're in our prime, when we're the elders, we're gonna be looked up to as the ones with the information that's needed for the young people. More and more young people are waking up to this bullshit, and they want to know how they can reconnect, regenerate, and rebel from the culture of hate. And we're the ones that has that information. So when I look at y'all, I see the leaders of all these different cities, the ones that's gonna lead us back into nature. I wanted to, give shouts out to the land. Big thanks to Roni Mead. Big thanks to Cameron for connecting us with Roni Mead. I don't know if Cameron's out here, but Cameron's the reason that we're here. Cameron found me. He's like, I really need you to see this place. I really need you to see this place. First time I came out here 2 years ago in the snow, and I was like, this is it. I couldn't even see anything. It was all white, all snow, and I was like, this is the place. So I'm really thrilled. Big thanks to Roni Mead. Thanks to our sponsors. Big thanks to North Sport. Again, we've managed to make it through these 10 years with very minimal sponsors. I don't know what it is. We haven't been able to get really much financial sponsorship. So this festival is a community-driven event. This festival is put on by your tickets, by every vendor that comes in here and pays the vendor fees. Y'all are making sure we got this big tent. Y'all are making sure all the speakers are getting taken care of, getting put where they need it, getting any travel things taken care of, all that. That's all you or me. And like for the first time, I think it's not about to be all on me. And it feels really, really good to see the community stepping up and bringing that value. And I'm really excited to see where this goes for all of us. I'm really excited to see you all in your places and bring this across the board. Any vendors, I just want to make this announcement, any vendors that chose our first option, make sure that you check in with us before you leave. And I wanted to give another shout out to Bill Russell. I don't know if Bill Russell's around here anywhere, but I wanted to give a huge shout out to Bill Russell. This is the third time Bill Russell's come out. He is the Pennsylvania OG. Like, he's the guy that knows these mushrooms, that knows these forests better than ever. So I'm really glad that everybody's able to come out here and connect and download all that wisdom, that like deep experiential knowledge. I wanted to also give a shout out to John Plishke. I don't know if John's around, but John Plishke's been coming through and just like holding down the ID tent. Like, anybody that went to the ID tent, fall down. Can we get a big round of applause for Emily for like managing this entire thing? Like, y'all need to be jumping and screaming. She did this whole thing.
She's one of the people I gave a pendant to.
Real small team, but like it's been very much vocalized, and I love how many of you guys come up and tell me, I think if we did this, or I think if we did that, or like I would love to help you do this, or I would love to help you do that. That's everything to me. I mean, I can't tell you how many people came up to me this year and said, "This is my church." Like, yo, that is everything. That's everything. So for those of you that feels like that, like I want to just sink it all in, and I want to make sure that we make this the best that it can be for everybody. I don't want to have any loose ends. I know that there's a lot of people that want to get engaged and want to get involved. And like, I'm trying to start the conversation like ASAP. Like, I would like to have this conversation as soon as my head gets back together. It takes me like maybe a couple weeks to digest all of the emotions and information that happens in this like really condensed space. But once I get my head back, I want to start talking with everybody that really wants to get engaged so that we can make this everything that it's supposed to be for everyone. For the kids, for all of the diverse folks that join us. I want to make sure everybody's represented. And I just want it to be smooth and easy for you guys to download and go and explode. You know what I'm saying?
This man is the real deal right here. He really just wants to help people.
I think Emily might have some things to say, but I really appreciate everybody's attention.
Yeah, just a quick shout out to our volunteers. Thank you to all the hardworking volunteers. And anybody that's here for the vision, like thank you, and thank you to all of our speakers. Y'all are all welcome. And thank you so much to our sound and lights team that worked like hours and hours and hours and hours. Focal Point Productions. Okay, hit them up if you have any needs. I know other people out here do their little festivals too. But, and shout out to Anthony from Raw Solar Power. Half of this festival was powered by solar.
We're powered by sun.
Yeah. And
Thank you to Will for wanting to support solar power for an event, because without you wanting to support it, without people throwing events wanting to support solar power, it doesn't happen. So thank
thank you guys. Everybody get home safe, stay hydrated, take care of yourself.
So yeah, stay hydrated, take care of yourself. We ain't telling you to go home, but maybe go to a nice little state park near here. There are a couple farewell foray groups that get together and go on their own forays on the way out. So mingle amongst yourselves. I would recommend, if you would like to go on a foray on your own with your own groups on the way out, go mingle at the table and see what kind of things we found. Maybe discuss what places might be nice to go check out. If anybody does need carpooling to any local cities, and anybody does have space in their cars, again, maybe go meet up by the mushroom tent or the info tent over by the mushroom tent. We can arrange some carpools. Other than that, I mean, y'all have until like 7 o'clock really to get yourselves packed up and out. Please be out by then. And if you do need to stay any longer, then you're gonna have to speak with James or Cameron yourself. James Cameron.
A couple more things. So for everybody that is camped at the bottom, you may have heard it from some of our parking team, but just try to drive a little bit up the hill and not like the alleyway that's in between the two lines of campsites, because that's super muddy.
It's bad. People
or
got
you
stuck.
could drive up the hill the other
Tow
way.
truck-
And
tow
for
truck
vendors
got
loading
stuck
out of the
too.
vendor lot, there's a very large chance that people might need to work together to push cars out and stuff, because like we did get a lot of rain and we've been trying to keep up with the straw, but just be careful of the cars and everything.
What about around the hill through that field? Because that's like way safer and there's no mud.
I would ask Cameron or James when you see them.
Okay.
And I almost forgot also, thank you to all of our entertainers last night, for Rory for coming out from Atlanta. Thank you for that. Thank you to Tamika, to Will, to Diaraga, to Ian Lex, to Nami, 22, and Hilla. Yeah, they were crazy. And Jack Rose. That's what I'm doing. I'm real sorry.
Or did you have anything else you wanted to say? All right, so at Telluride, I've been going to Telluride for many years. I got to meet the OGs before they passed away. It was super, super awesome. It's definitely changing, and as everything, it evolves. But there's one tradition that they have, that they do before they leave, that I really, really love, and I would love to do with you guys. So I'm going to tell you what it is. We're going to count down, and then we're all going to do it together, and you're going to follow the cadence. It is, I'm going to count down, and then we all just say, "We love mushrooms," as loud as you can, as loud as you can. Like I want everybody to hear it at State, all the way at Penn State. All right, you guys ready? Everybody take a deep breath. All right, 3, 2, 1. We love mushrooms! MycoFest 2024, let's go!
They just busted his ass. was a blast. What's going on, everybody?
That was crazy.
I'm gonna walk around a little bit.
Chris, I'm going to take advantage of you being here to try to not hold you hostage, but leave when you do.
I'm staying till tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm
then-
gonna be tearing down tonight with them.
Then I'm safe.
Yeah,
I can leave whenever, and you're available to help.
I'm here.
Awesome. I'm planning on being here maybe till like the 7th.
All right.
So, I actually wanted to be one of these after MycoFest 4As. For anybody that wants to hit the woods real quick, but we're just going to hit the woods behind the campsite.
Yep.
Maybe an hour. You don't want anybody missing out on a 4A at MycoFest, so it's kind of like the last chance ditch effort.
Right, I hear you. That was cool. I'm glad I caught that. So I'm still live streaming, and my battery just went back to 15%. So unfortunately, I do have to end this. Maybe I'll walk around for a minute just to give everybody a view of what we got going on before the phone dies. Mr. Jeff, I'm going to head that way and circle around. And
I might do a similar walk, but I'm not going to necessarily be on with you. I've got to come up with my game plan of my video that I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So I go live tomorrow, I premiere tomorrow night, but it's going to be a video filmed here. So I've got to formulate.
Let me know if you need a hand.
Imagine my mushroom chemistry style, but I'm going to turn MycoFest into the chemical. I'm going to describe the features and benefits of MycoFest as if it's a mushroom chemical.
So
that's going to be the video tomorrow night.
I just recently posted a video with links to Mr. Jeff's channel. You guys should definitely check him out. Very, very knowledgeable dude.
Thank you, brother.
I will see you soon.
Yeah, we'll be around, brother.
All right, so that right there, the woman in the white right there, that's Priyanka. She's the one that invited me back here to volunteer and be a part of this all. I can't see my chat, and I apologize for not responding and conversating with you guys. My screen is pretty much blurred out, and I also have the light turned down so the phone doesn't die right away. Fungi Flows and Faye walking over here. They look like they're on a mission. That man right there, his name is Maui. He has been nonstop working. How's it going? Pretty damn good, man. So he's been working nonstop. Let's see here. They got the best food in the lot. Although, to be honest with you, hey, wait a minute.
How you doing?
What's going on, brother? How you been?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. You got a minute to walk and talk?
I'll walk and talk with you.
All right. So, I've been wanting to meet up and speak with you for a while now. Would you be willing to introduce yourself to everybody and explain to us how you got here? There is one thing. My battery just let me know it's on 15%. I'm live streaming right now.
Okay.
We just got Will's talking.
Cool.
That's the first live stream.
All right. I'll introduce myself. So I'm the medicinal mycologist. My name's Caden Willauer. I'm from Lower PA. I founded the medicinal mycologist company back in late 2022, early 2023. And we've been helping people grow mushrooms ever since. The reason I founded it is because mushrooms cured my depression. They cured my girlfriend's depression. They cured one of my friend's anxiety permanently. You don't have to keep taking them. And so we wanted to share that with the world. And that's who I am. That's why I'm here.
This is the thing I have in common with everybody that's here. Mycology has brought us together for a reason. A lot of it's for anxiety. A lot of it's for our besides our mental health, our physical health. And ultimately just doing wonderful things for our planet.
Definitely. Thanks for having me on the stream. I'm packing up here to go, and
thank you so much, man, for
Yeah.
being a part of this, and I look forward to seeing you again next year. You coming back, right?
I'm definitely
You and your
coming back.
girlfriend?
Yep.
Cool. All right, man. I'll
Definitely.
see you soon.
Thanks for the interview, man. It was great meeting
It
you.
was great meeting you too. I'll definitely see you again next year as
Why
long
don't
as
you
you're
give me your
here.
phone number and we can connect.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna cover up my mic.
Thank you. I'll
Cool,
talk to you later, man.
All right, I'll catch you later. I don't know if you guys caught my phone number on that, but if you did, just feel free to give me a shout. I don't care. Carl, I'm live streaming. Can I come and say hello? I want to tell everybody about this woman right here. She's got the memory of an elephant. Now, I met Carl 3 years ago at MycoFest, and I was walking around with my phone down, pointed at the table. And I said, do you mind if I point my phone up and introduce yourself? And she said, sure. Carl, will you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Carl. I'm an artist and a crafter and a baker. My husband is G-May. He's a glass blower. We came up from Tennessee to do our demo and enjoy the weekend. And we love MycoFest. It's our 3rd year out here, and we'll be back next year.
I didn't know my first year was your first year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was our debut.
Now, all right. I don't know if you can see us both, but I'm going to tell you a story about Carl. My 2nd year back here, I was walking up to the booth, and she looks at me and she says, I remember you. You're the guy from New York. And I said, wow, that's impressive. And Jeremy's walking up right now. Can I spin around? You want to introduce yourself? I'm live streaming.
Oh, right.
So I'm just coming up and saying goodbye and hello and trying to give everybody a feel of what I've been doing here.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, I'm going to keep at the story. So Jeremy turns to me and says, if you tell her your birthday, she'll remember that too. And I'm just like, no way. So I told her. And as I'm walking up to the booth this year, the first thing comes out of her mouth is my birthday. Not even a hello, just she came out with my birthday, which was unbelievable to me. This is the 3rd time we've spoken, the 3rd time we've met, and she remembers. She remembers people and numbers, I guess. But to me, that's just amazing.
It's an innate ability. I'm the birthday freak.
Impressive. But anyway, you want to introduce yourself? Can I? I'm going to show off your work here in a minute. But Jeremy from G-May Glass.
What's up?
Introduced. Let's go check out his work over here. All right, so at this point, I have a collection of Jeremy's pendants here. He does pretty wild glass work. Teapots, mushroom themed teapots with matching glasses, diffuser. This is cool, man. You guys can find them G-May Glass on Instagram. That's where you do the majority of your uploading?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much mostly Instagram.
Is this something you were working on while you were here?
That's the demo piece from the other night. It's like a Sherlock with the amber purple glow in.
That's right. It was in your kiln when I came back.
Yeah, and my buddy's getting that one. We're gonna put some sculpted cubensis on the side, wrapping up around it.
May I?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah. Yeah, if you hold it on the side, you can get a good bit of the
I was getting out of the light. Let's see here what it looks like in the sun. Oh. How do you do that? That's awesome.
What's up, y'all?
Jeremy, thank you for coming back.
Yeah,
it was really good seeing you again, man.
I know. What size shirt you wear?
Large?
Large.
Seriously, man? You didn't have to do that. Jeremy is another one of the people I gave one of my pendants to.
Yeah. It's like the new screen print. So.
Dude. Oh, I love you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good seeing you, bro.
Oh, man, you rock. Thank you, man. I will see you next year.
For sure.
I'll be here for sure. Oh, here's a couple other things that I didn't talk about. I'm sure you've seen them on the table. Let's talk about them. That's what you think it is, and so is that. That's as far as I'm going to go with it. Hey, thanks for being here, man. I'll talk to you later. All right, again, I can't see the chat. I'm sorry. We're going to keep making quick rounds because my phone is about to die, and I don't want that to happen while I'm streaming. This dude over here, super fucking impressive with a knife. Mama Cacao.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
You want to introduce yourself? I'm live streaming on my channel right now. I'm Shroom Day on YouTube.
Hi, Shroom Day.
So, Mama Cacao, what are you doing here? What do you got going on?
We make nutritional, plant-based, medicinal beverages. We work with cacao from Guatemala, and we try to source around the world. Like our matcha comes from Japan. We get things locally to where we're from. We're from Arkansas. But we love MycoFest, and we come up here. It's been our 3rd year.
This is my 3rd year here as well.
It's so many of our 3rd years.
Wendy and I remember talking to you when I came with my friend Wendy the first year, the one from Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, she almost made it.
Oh, next year.
Next year is happening. We're gonna plan in advance and get her here for sure.
Well, cool.
Well, it
Thanks.
was great seeing you.
Good to see you too, man. Safe travels home and good luck with all your endeavors.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a little bit of a drive home. Not too bad. I got about a 5.5-hour drive.
You got it.
Not too horrible. I'm leaving tomorrow though. I'm gonna hang out and help them tear down tonight. And
Nice, perfect.
hang out and rest.
We
And
got some miso soup if you want me.
okay, when I get hungry, I'll definitely swing over for sure.
Please. It'll be like one of the last things we break down, but we'll be swiftly kind of getting it
Awesome.
going.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Are you out?
Just kind of show you what they had here. And again, I apologize for not conversating with you guys. The sun here, it's making it difficult, and I got the screen turned down so my battery don't die right away. What's going on, man? Oak City Hemp. They sell legal hemp. But when you decarboxylate it, then it's got the THC that the government don't want us to have. But that's got 0.03%, so it's legal until you put the heat to it.
And please take a picture of behind the truck too. Just go in the back of me and look at it for yourself, please. Just like, you'll shake your head like I did.
Hello.
Howdy.
Just live streaming, showing everybody what everybody's got here. And
nice.
nice catch.
Thanks, right? Take a pano of our, this is a farmhouse banner. This is a farmhouse. Yay, from your county.
Awesome.
Did you play football?
This is Fungi Flow's booth.
With those reflexes.
I see a shadow flying from behind over my head. I was like, oh no. Yeah, what am I down to? I'm gonna have to end this. It just said, it came at me again. I am down to 5%.
You doing something for your team?
I am. I'm live streaming. What do you got? Oh,
Tensor
copper
rings.
bracelets.
Yeah, copper bracelets. Yeah, they're tensor rings, good energy fields for you. Yeah.
All right, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. It's John Manna. Yeah, John Manna Music, or John Manna and the Free Flowers. And I'm out here performing music and also vending, selling tensor rings. They're pure energy devices made out of pure copper. It helps to harmonize the energy field around everything that's within the radius. Yeah, I also have wire wrap jewelry. I got some of my artwork. Sage and
nice,
Palo
man.
Santo. Yeah, go ahead and hop in there. Yeah, please.
Oh, wait a minute. This thing just flashed as I'm coming out to the sun. It looked like it just blinked like a flashlight.
Look at that one in the sun too. That one's wild in the sun.
Yeah, as they're coming out of the shade, into the sunlight, it just gives you a real quick flash, but got some beautiful colors coming out of these stones, man.
Oh man, thank you so much, man. Thanks for they admire you too. Thanks for admiring.
Awesome.
Oh, you guys are leaving? All right, let me just say bye to my homies. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna keep going before my battery dies.
You're so cool. Yeah, nice to meet you.
It's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, be safe and be happy. Be healthy.
Uncle Fungus, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
Doing well? What do you got? I'm Chris. Shroom Day on YouTube. Live streaming and showing everybody what's going on here and all the vendors' booths. And you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you got going on? I don't want to shove the camera in your face and make you uncomfortable.
My name is Drew Zimmerman. I'm the owner and founder of Uncle Fungus Mushrooms. You can follow me on Instagram at Uncle Fungus. It's UNKLE_fungus. I have a website and I sell a lot of value-added products, all single source. Things like hot sauce, ferments, seasonings, salt blends.
I'm pretty sure I follow you on Instagram.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, feel free to crack one of them open and smell it too. The smoke salt's got a really good nose on it.
I'm down to about 4% on my battery, so I'm just trying to.
Yeah, that's what I'm at too.
Yeah. I want to get around before the thing dies completely. Hey, man, it was nice to meet you. I'll talk to you again next year.
Yes.
Awesome. We got some mushroom patches, fairy patches, skull patches, cubensis patches. Awesome. All right. So that's I think that's the majority of it here. And then we got Will's booth here. And I'm definitely going to be swinging in here and grabbing a shirt or two.
I love you. I'll see you tonight.
Here's some other products produced by MycoSymbiotics. If anybody's interested, definitely go to their website. Look up the products, check out the benefits.
Oh, good. Thank God. The other ones are not as good. I put your Costco in there.
They're
Oh, thank you.
generally not bottled because they taste good.
I recognize your face. Yeah, I figured you recognized my face. You gave me some Filipinos last year. I brought them back. I just got a North Spore
Bag of spirulina right here. Spirulina is great. It's a nutrition source
I wasn't fully set up, so they were like a few of them grew from the
for
bottom.
fungus,
I
plants.
ate all the ones that were on. It was great. So, but now I'm learning.
You can actually cultivate it at home.
Meeting everybody here is supposed to be great. Remind me your name. My name's Jonathan. Yeah. I'm Yak and Yona on Instagram. We kind of, I come with a lot of my friends from
I got
Jersey, and we're trying to set up a meeting there. And we
bag
have
similar to that one last night.
Philly crew at all? A little bit, yeah. I've been meeting some people.
Definitely had a great time here this year. And catching his speech in the live talk just made it the whole thing worth it. So, all right, everybody. I appreciate everybody. Can I introduce you, sir? I don't remember your name.
Jose Padilla.
Jose Padilla, I want to thank you for bringing your son back and sharing the world with us.
Hey, listen, supporting my boy has been a lifelong journey, and I'm so proud of him. I couldn't imagine how proud I am of this guy that came to me once saying I had 25 people at my mushroom festival.
Yeah.
And what it is today. So thank anybody who's here that supports my boy from my heart. Thank you.
I could see the look in your eye, man. That's a proud Popeye. I whispered it into Will's ear as we were sitting down. I could see the look in your eye, man. That's beautiful.
Appreciate you. Thank
I
you
appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks. I was about to walk into a pole. There's a sign here somewhere that said MycoSymbiotics, and I don't, or MycoFest. Is that it? I'm just gonna end showing off a sign. So I'm gonna call it. I appreciate anybody. So here it is. Sun's kind of blasting it out. MycoFest. All right, much love, everyone. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you all soon.